Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Well, today I'm reviewing the newest cigar from the trio, Matt Booth, Robert Caldwell, and AJ Fernandez. This is the T Connecticut. And this is the Toro 6x50. There is your density. Really a nice looking cigar and nice and round. I mean, a lot of times they'll come a little off, but that is really round. Now the bands are just like the original T, only different colors. And the original is box pressed, and this is, like I said, quite round. So, the difference in this and the original was a Nicaraguan Puro, and this is an Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper over Nicaraguan binder and filler, so not a Puro. That's pretty much the deal. Let's get right to it. The new T Connecticut Toro. This is a very nice looking cigar. And the band being orange seems to go with this golden wrapper. It's very well thought out. Or they were very lucky. I don't know. Maybe they decided they wanted to do it that way because of the colors. I don't know. Okay. Nice, good draw. First flavors is really different. Not necessarily in a very, very good way, but it's sort of a cedar with a lot of leather. Some cream, I suppose, from the Connecticut wrapper, nutmeg, black coffee base, black pepper at around 8. It's really quite peppery initially. We'll see if it holds that. There's a massive amount of leather and nutmeg, and the leather is like a new leather, fresh leather, but those two combined in massive amounts to give really a strange flavor when you take into account adding in that cedar type flavor. It's very unique, very different, but that's the way you start. So let's just see how we progress. Okay, we're here at the first third, and this cigar is in no way, shape, or form anything like the original. I'm still getting the same notes I did originally. It's just really heavy on leather and nutmeg, and the black coffee is also moving up the line now. The cedar, which is not even citrus, the cedar has some sweetness, but not a lot. Before you say, "Hey Tim, how long have you had these?" They've been sitting for a month, so there's no excuse. No, they're rested. They're ready to go. They should be, but there is not the sweetness that the original had. I'm going to compare it against the original, okay? Because it's the T. If the only thing different is the wrapper, they should be similar, and it should be cream notes or something like that from the Connecticut wrapper, at least I would think. But there are some cream notes. I didn't mention that, but they're very light. The wrapper is not giving it a whole lot. Some cream. For the first third, I'll start off at 90. And I'm hopeful that things are going to change quickly, because this is, at this point, not nearly as good as the original. Well, your eyes don't deceive you. I'm coming back just shortly after the last segment. Actually, this is about 2.5 inches in. The cigar undoubtedly this one is blended differently, but now you have the tangy quasi citrus cedar flavor that's much more elevated. You still have the massive amount of leathery nutmeg with a touch thread or two of cream, but the sweetness is now there to compete with the heavy leather nutmeg. Much better now. This is the way it should be. Hey, cigars are handmade. They're not machine made. They're not. It's not an exact science. So, shortly after the first third point, the cigar is really nice. Nice sweetness, heavy leather nutmeg. At this point, I would raise the score, and I will, because I'm going to average this out to 93. That's how big of a difference it is. I don't have any problem with that because I'm doing the review and I'm reporting what I'm getting. Now the finish is cream and nutmeg with some nice lingering black pepper. So all things being what they are, that's where we are, and I will come back if there's any other big changes. Well, we made it safely through the second third, and the flavors pretty much held up. After that last segment, I did start getting some roasted pecans in the mix. So you have that small thread of cream, roasted pecans to go along with that quasi tangy cedar citrus combination, and quite a bit of leather and nutmeg. Some brown sugar in there on the front end also. Not really any cinnamon to speak of. The cigar is medium to full bodied. I don't think I've mentioned that before. The finish is still some cream and some of that nutmeg, and now a little sweetness of the citrus cedar. More lingering black pepper. The pepper is pretty good in this cigar. The roasted pecans is a nice flavor, but it doesn't really do anything for me. For the second third, I would rate it at a 92. But you still have enough sweetness to counteract that leather and nutmeg. But the roasted pecans, I'm not a real big fan of that flavor. So that's why I'm lowering it to 92. It took away a little bit of that sweetness. So the cigar has leveled out. So we'll just see what the final third brings. Well, we are down to the end, so let's wrap it up. Pretty much flavors held. Everything held about the same here in the final third. I have no explanation about the first 2 inches of this cigar, except maybe how it was blended, but it really didn't do it any favors. Very much full-bodied here at the end. Finish is unchanged from the last segment. After the first 2 inches, I really enjoyed this cigar, but I have to take that into account into the overall scoring. For the final third, I would hold it at a 92. However, the first 2 inches really hurt it, and this final score I'm actually satisfied with because this is not as good as the original T. So, it does have the cream notes, has some light pecan, roasted pecan notes, a lot of leather and nutmeg, which did tone down some in the final third. The citrus cedar held up, so that's why I'm maintaining the 92. But the overall score is a 91.75, and I'm okay with that. So there you have it. The new T Connecticut Toro, 91.75.